just one way. I'll be the first to admit some of the most uncomfortable times I've had in my lifetime was in a church house. Some of the most feeling out of place times of my life was in a church house. I've said since I came here as pastor, the Bible teaches us for all have sinned. How many believes that all means everybody? Come on. Some of you didn't raise your hand, but you've sinned too. I wasn't doing that because I looked at you, Freddie. I seen you raise your hand. Somebody will come through that door for the first time, or that one down there, or one of these back here. We got four or five doors getting in this place. And you'll look at them for the first time. You say, I know something on that cat.
I will say, if you say you don't sin, you call God a liar.
Yeah. Yeah, I know something about him. You've heard me say it many times. Chances are when you come through the door, somebody said the same. I know something on that man. Well, there's old James Kinder. What's he doing here? Jesus said, whosoever will, let him come. It's a good thing that God didn't exclude mean people. And it's a good thing that God didn't turn away the unrighteous. But he said, Jesus got in trouble with the church so many times because the church seen him talking to the sinners. Jesus told him one time, he said, hey folks, the whole need not a physician, but they that are sick. And he said, I came to seek and to save that which was lost. People said, yeah, but every time I go to church, somebody said a few weeks ago, they said, one of the folks said, how'd you enjoy church? And the person said, well, I enjoyed it, but I felt like a preacher was preaching right at me. This person from the church said, no. She said, I'm a Christian. And the person that was talking to him said, well, that's good. I said, but he wasn't preaching right at you. He was preaching to everybody and those viewing by live stream. But so many times people, as Brother Ronnie was talking about, they just want a little bit of it. Reminded me of a little boy one time, typical little boy, fussing with his mommy one evening. She said, get in the bathtub. I don't want to get in the bathtub. She said, it's time for a bath. Get a bath. He said, I had one yesterday. She said, I don't care. It's time for a bath. Little boy looked at her and said, can't you just dust me off? Brother, that's what Brother Ronnie was teaching this morning. Those folks, Ronnie, they didn't want to get in all over. But the only way that we can be saved is humble ourselves before God. I was telling you about being in Canal City yesterday evening. We've been going out feeding the cats. And so yesterday, Tammy had to work. She got off work. I'll tell you how this works. And so me and Jenna met her, and we met up with her on Applebee's parking lot. Did y'all go to Applebee's and eat? No, we didn't. Would you go to Cracker Barrel? No, we didn't. Ed fixed a big old pot of chili yesterday, and she called before we left, and I thought, well, I'll get some when I get back. But I said, hold on. If I'm late, I'm going to eat me a bowl of chili. And when I went to Canal City, I was not the least bit hungry. And Ronnie, you can't help but You can't make me believe any different. When I got out of the car there on Applebee's parking lot, not hungry at all, but that smell coming out of all them restaurants around there, you'd think it'd be terrible. You got Taco Bell, Burger King, Applebee's, Cracker Barrel, Arby's, right there in one. All them smells together ought to stink. I'm telling you what. I said, they got to do that on purpose. I ain't even hungry. And I now could go to each one of them and eat. And if you went to their restaurant and you walked in one of them and you just went in and sat down, and somebody come over and said, why didn't you eat? I didn't come here to eat. I just sit down. You don't do that. You go there to eat. And when folks comes to church, I don't want to make them feel out of place. I don't want to embarrass them. I don't want to point them out. I hated that. When I felt like somebody was doing everything but calling my name. When they knowed me, now I couldn't argue with those that didn't know me. But the important thing is giving folks opportunity. We've got a menu here. You can have a Big Mac. You can have a quarter pounder deluxe, or you can have a regular quarter pounder with or without cheese. We got chicken nuggets. We got fish sandwich. You can take your pick. But in the church house, folks, we need to offer nothing but Jesus Christ and Him crucified. That's the only thing. Listen, any of them things on McDonald's menu, if you eat enough of it, it'll fill you up. But I'm telling you what, it won't satisfy that long in your soul. We could have, I know everybody enjoyed the singing. I know everybody enjoyed the testimony. Everybody enjoyed the teaching. And I hope you got a little bit out of what I had to say this morning. But none of that will save you. Because you come to church this morning won't make you saved. I heard a preacher say one time, you can go to McDonald's all day long, every day. I left our friend Freddie's place out, IHOP. Don't want to leave IHOP out, do we, F? You can go to McDonald's every day, all day long, and it won't make you a hamburger. Come on. You can go to church, as Brother Ronnie was talking about Cornelius. There's people that's been led to believe. And we was talking with, I think it was Bob and I was talking this week. We take for granted that people knows. And there's a lot of people don't even know the plan of salvation. But the Word of God said ye must be born again. We're tickled to death when folks comes here to church. But I'm telling you what, there's more to it than pretty singing. There's more to it than good Sunday school teachers. There's a plan of salvation. There's a life-changing experience that only Jesus Christ can give. Let us pray. Father, we come before you. And we're so thankful, Lord, for all that you've done. So thankful, Lord, for how that you've blessed us. God, you've made ways where there seemed to be no ways. And I know you're here this morning, Lord. Lord, I hope, Lord, with everything in me, Lord, that we've made everybody feel welcome. Lord, I hope that there's nobody in this building or nobody viewing live stream that feels like that this church has tried to esteem themselves higher than those individuals. And I pray this morning, Lord, that you would give somebody courage. I feel like somebody's counting the cost. Somebody's heard the word. Somebody's got their heart spoke to this morning. And I ask, Lord, that you would give them courage while every head's bowed, every eye's closed, Lord. That you give them courage to slip out of the seat, make their way down to an altar of prayer, make peace with you this morning. Allow you, Lord, and help these folks to realize, Lord, that they can quit trying to get themselves ready to meet you. They can quit trying to be good enough to be a Christian. Because we'll never be good enough, Lord, and we'll never get our own self ready. Give them courage right now, Lord, and help them to see they can't be all that bad if you're talking to them and if you're inviting them into your fold. The enemy's telling them that they're not good enough, but you're saying, come, 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 come unto me. You mean, preacher, the Lord's a calling me and he knows all of my sin and all of my... Yes, sir. He knows you better than you know yourself. That makes me feel pretty good. It ought to. I've been where you at. Lord, give somebody courage right now to slip out of the seat. Make their way to an altar of prayer. You know who you're speaking to. You know who you're talking to. Give them courage right now. Give them courage right now. Listen to the words of this song.
Hear the blessed say, calling the oppressed, O ye heavy-laden, come to me and rest. Come no longer tarry.
Come on.
I, your Lord, will bear.
Bring me every burden.
Just bring me every burden. Bring me every care. Come unto me.
Hear it.
I will give you rest.
Oh, yeah. Take my yoke upon you.
Take my yoke upon you. Hear me and be blessed. Oh, I am meek and lowly. Come and trust my mind. Come, my yoke is easy.
Yeah, and my burden light.
And my burden's light.
Amen. It is. We make it so hard being a Christian. But it's simple. All we got to do is trust Him. As Jessica was singing, the Word of God records those words. My yoke is easy and my burden's light. Man, there ain't nothing like being under the yoke of the world and the burden of the world. It drives you down, and I've never seen a time where people feel so beat down, so discouraged. But I'm telling you what Jesus said, I have come that you might have life and have life more abundantly. Praise the Lord. Been a good place to be. Did you enjoy the lesson this morning?